Alright parents. Fess up. What is your least favorite thing about your child? I hated my oldest daughter's ex-husband. Adore everything about her, but her judgment of people has always been terrible. She's too trusting. Night terrors. FFS, the non-stop blood-curdling screams no matter how hard you try to wake them up. Thank goodness the one grew out of it. The most satisfying yet infuriating thing was that they recalled nothing of it the next day. You're there with eye bags and frayed nerves. And they're all I'm cued. I require pancakes with a whipped cream face. DIAF hell spawn. Sock balls. He is constantly making balls out of socks and throws them around endlessly. He never has any socks to wear because they are nowhere to be found due to constant sock balling. Drives me insane. It's a good thing he's cute and a really good kid. It could be so much worse at 15. How she can't open a can of beans by herself. Not my child. Rather my fiancé's brother and his sister-in-law. Every time I go to their house for the holidays or a party, their 4-year-old daughter wants to play with me. I'm 27 years old and the last thing I want to do is sit on the floor and play with someone else's kid when everyone my age and up gets to socialize with adults. I feel bad saying no to the kid and wish her parents would step in and say something. I avoid these parties because I always end up trapped playing Barbies or other hands-on games. Any and all advice is appreciated. Nice try, son. Very simply the noise. I have 3 and never have peace and quiet unless I'm home alone. Silence is so beautiful. This thread is making me not want children, LMAO. How he's making my wife nauseous. Pretty annoying for a negative 7-month-old. Shits on me every time but never on my wife. My daughter likes to wait until we're cozy and comfortable before dropping and load in her diaper. My oldest has OCD and germophobia. She won't use the mugs. We once put our pet fish in a mug about 18 months ago to clean his tank. She won't use another style of mug because a stink bug crawled on the outside. Won't use other dishes because the cats ate tuna out of them. We have bleached all the dishes. She still won't use them. If we give her one of these dishes she won't eat or drink out of it. My youngest has a 0 to 60 temper and really bad PMS. Both teenagers. Her stubbornness. His fear to try something new. My son responds to serious questions with nonsense. His new thing is just responding with banana every time we ask him something. Straight face. The whining. My God. The whining. My 7-year-old hates babies. Like insane levels of hatred if I even glance towards one. My 10-year-old never stops moving her body or her mouth. Who else is looking for their parents in this thread? When the puppy is hyperactive and wants to play, my kid wants to just play with his own toys and constantly yells no at the dog for what feels like hours. When the puppy is calm or sleeping, my kid jumps all over him and tries to wrestle. They can never both be calm or both be hyper. 15-year-old. Discovered memes when he was 14. Yeah. We get all of the memes described to us. Autism doesn't help. My daughter is 8 and she's a great kid all around. Couldn't have asked for better except for one thing. She's really anxious and gets scared easily. She's starting to grow out of it, I think. Dogs are one thing she's particularly scared of. Just today we were out walking and a dog across the street was barking and she wanted me to pick her up. She was in a complete panic. The dog started coming over and she started climbing me. I just couldn't carry her on the slushy snow we were on. I'm also only 5 feet 2 inches and she's already 4 feet 2 inches. The dog. Tiny little thing in a cute sweater. 10 pounds at the most. Sigh. When our son was 2. He was a horrible eater and sleeper. Just very finicky with his food. And very difficult to keep asleep. We would get so frustrated and sometimes just be distraught with lack of sleep every night. Then we went to the doctor. Turns out he had a minor structural issue in his mouth that made it very hard to eat solid food. He wasn't eating because he physically couldn't. And he wasn't sleeping because he was always hungry. This thread is great birth control. Thanks. My stepdaughter is afraid of everything. When I first came into the picture we couldn't even get her to walk past the Halloween stuff in Home Depot. She was 8. We can now get her in a Halloween store but she still won't go anywhere near the animatronics. She's 13 now. She has some brave moments though. I gave her a staff that I had gotten from a Ren fair to make her feel a little more safe. Now when she hears a loud or strange noise she'll come running out of her room with the staff, banging it into the walls and almost falling when she gets it tangled in her legs. All the things that annoy me about my kids are traits they inherited from me. Apparently I'm pretty annoying. No kids, but my cat is a complete dickhead with no personal boundaries. Threads like this are the best form of birth control. Oldest, non-stop talking, not like me. Youngest, has a 0 to 150 temper, like me. My stepkids have been doing this thing for the last 2 years where they constantly say did you know? And then list a useless fact that any adult should know. Sometimes they're not even right. Yes, I know. I love them and I always listen, but I can't wait for that habit to die. My kid has ADHD and horrible impulse control. Nothing malicious. Just weird stuff and a lot of times annoying or socially inappropriate. I love him so much and my heart breaks for his struggles now and when he gets older. We work on it. He likes to randomly spin with his arms out. I just got backhanded in what used to be my sack in the middle of Walmart. It's the 3rd time this week. Currently it is the scream. Basically she's just started the most god-awful high-pitched scream whenever things are going badly for her. Especially when she's frustrated or raging. It's only been the last couple of weeks and we're cracking down on it hard now. Because if you banshee scream over minor things, how do we know if something is really truly wrong when you do it? AKA boy who cried wolf. It's definitely slowed down in the last day or so since we got stern with her. So hopefully it's ending, but it was not a fun phase. My 4-yo is way too much like me. It's hard arguing with a smaller, less emotionally developed version of yourself. To be honest, the smell of his farts. They are so bad it actually makes me angry and the little shit thinks it's the most hilarious thing. Edit, thank you all for your concerns and suggestions about IBS. This is something we have spoke to his pediatrician about and she isn't worried. Sometimes farts just smell bad. The incessant, desperately unfunny but they think it's funny jokes / screeches / impressions from my 2 boys. They're both amazing and a ton of fun, more so individually, but the inane little boy humor is super grating. Pre-COVID. The complete lack of sympathy that maybe I don't want to go swimming every single Sunday morning and expose my dad bod in public. He's a bit over 2 right now and still insists on sleeping in bed with us. We got him a nice comfy custom-made bed which he treats like lava. And he sleeps sideways in our bed. So I always end up with the double kick to the face or the dick. And the dude is tall for his age, he's always been 99% percentile or more in terms of height. But you know what? I'd miss him otherwise. I enjoyed the coziness we have bundled up in our blanket lasagna during the cold morning we had over the holidays. With the pandemic he is also limited to Zoom classes, which I am paying out the nose for. As you can expect. 2-year-olds don't like sitting down for extended periods of time unless it's to watch something they like. Since I'm WFH I sit next to him every lesson and tell him to sit and listen every 2 minutes. But my least favorite thing has always been having to say goodbye to him when I leave for work. Middle kid is in the preteen I hate everything phase. My 2-year-older hates getting her diaper changed. Yells and cries every time. I don't understand. She doesn't seem to be in pain. We're good about lathering on the Aquaphor when she's red. And she's good about telling us when she's in pain and where. So I always ask if it hurts because I don't want her to feel like she concerns are ignored. I always stop for a minute. Talk calmly to her. Ask if it hurts. Tell her I'm going to be very gentle but I need to clean her bottom. But like, girl you got folds and when you have as mushy poop I have to get in there or you'll get a UTI. But I don't want to give her a complex about her vulva and such and fuck her up emotionally. She's a terrific kid and so brave in any other situation so I really don't get it. I even went through the okay is there any chance she was abused by someone? Which is a hideous thought and made me sick but God forbid I miss something. Sorry that was dark. The other comments were funny. It's on my mind today. Dad, guess what? Dad. You know Callum. In my class. Lad. I don't know your classmates. I get you and your brothers confused, so just move on with the story. Son 10. All he wants to do is play games or watch stupid stuff on YouTube. Can't get him interested in anything else. Hi Mom. If you're posting on this thread, then I'm sorry. My stepdaughter has entered the phase of her life where she wants to know what we're doing at all times. Including when I'm sleeping/laying down. 2 weeks ago I took a nap and she got into my face while I was sleeping to confirm I was still sleeping. The good news, I'm happy to experience this now so I can prepare for it later. ETA, she's 5. I'm a woman. Their inability to remember to throw their trash in the actual trash, instead of leaving it lying around all over the house. I recently found what I think was originally an apple core behind my son's tall boy. Can't get the stain out of the carpet. Can I answer as an uncle that does more parenting of the kid than his dead shit father? My nephew adores me. He's autistic. And I'm one of the few people who gets him. But it means any time I'm around he's attached to my side. That's fine. But he doesn't seem to be able to understand that he can just be around me without having to fill the silence. I'm cool with him playing his Switch with my left arm around him while I browse Facebook with my right. I like conversations. But he feels the need to always be talking. Even with nothing at all to talk about. Which means 3 to 4 times a day I have him pop his head up and ask whatever random question he can think of in the moment. Like, what would happen if Super Mario were blue, or what if black holes weren't black holes? Or what's your favorite type of wall? All of these have been asked at one point. Thanks for watching.